Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome back to my Sekiro Let's Play. And now we actually get to play the game. I mean, let's be honest, I've been playing it this whole time, but we finally reached a point where we're equipped, and we can actually just go forward, play the game, kill mini-bosses, kill some bosses. We no longer need to jump around a whole bunch, and for this stretch of play at least, we don't need to talk to a bunch of NPCs. So, we're back here at the Ogre, now that we're equipped with our flame vent. It's the greatest thing of all time against these guys. It takes 2 flame vents in order to set him on fire, and when he does get set on fire, he gets a full stagger, which gives you a really good opportunity to just get a lot of free hits in. If you hit him once, he will do a small stagger, so you can get, 3 or 4 free hits in. But once he actually is set on fire, you can just wail on him for quite a while. So we already got one of his health bars down. Very nice. We're just going to keep hitting him with this flame vent. We'll see, yeah, again, puts his hands up in front. And, oh dear, that was bad. That was really bad timing on my part. There we go. Oh, I guess I waited too long for that second one, so he didn't get set on fire right away, but here we go. There we go, he's on fire. Perfect. Oh gosh. That grab attack, I must say, is just, the hitbox on it is just so annoying. And, oh, come on, please stop. You are the worst. The absolute worst, Mr. Ogre. And of course it triggered the spear guy. Okay, oh no, Incure counter failed. Oh gosh, now I'm panicking. No, please. Oh my. Yep. That seems about appropriate. So close too. It's always at the end there. Just took off all of my health. Perfect. Well, a bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world. We'll just kill these 2 guys again, and we'll go up and face them again. Boom. Again, every fight he starts off chained to this wooden post thing, so you can get at least, 10 good hits on him before the fight even starts. And then you can just start with the flame vents. There, easy, fire. Now we just need to make sure we don't get grabbed. And proceed to immediately get grabbed. Of course. That grab is the bane of my existence. See, why can't he just do those attacks, like flying leg kicks? Those are easy. Those are easy enough to deal with. Yeah, and like hammer drops. He's like a professional wrestler. I love it. There, first health bar done. Now we just have to do it one more time. And now that he is on his final health bar, we can get smashed into the ground, obviously. Perfect. But as I was going to say, now that he's on his final health bar, we can just use up the rest of our spirit emblems and just do as many flame vents as we possibly can, which I think is 3. There. That was actually really dangerous. I got really scared that I wasn't going to get my flame vent off in time. There we go, and flame vent once more. Gets his mini stagger. And we're now out of spirit emblems, but it shouldn't matter at this point. He should just easily go down. Ooh, that was also really risky. And there we go. We finished off the mini-boss of the Ogre. And he's dead. And that's our prayer bead, and it also gives us a little boost. I think that's to our gourds. Don't quote me on that. Luckily, you guys, with the power of the internet and YouTube, have the ability to pause and read. So I'm just going to run back to the sculpting idol. With my power of foresight, know that right beyond this ogre, there's another mini-boss fight. So I want to have full gourds for that. And we're just going to quickly look at our skill bars. I did mention earlier that I am a fan of the yellow ones. And here's where memory has to come in. One of my... I don't honestly consider it a big gripe, but that's what I said earlier. I was going to say I was going to go for the Emma improved healing gourds. But one of my gripes with the game is simply the fact that when you're looking at the skill trees, you can only see the ones that are like one tier beyond what you currently have. You can't see the whole skill tree. meaning that you can easily waste points if you don't know, like, if I told you, hey, somewhere on this bar there's a skill that will give you better healing gourds, you're like, oh, I really want that, and then you look at the trees because there'll end up being like 4 shinobi trees, and you'll look and you'll say, well, which one is it? And the answer is, well, I don't know. You just start putting them into random points and hope that you eventually pick the right tree. And I wish that they would just show you the whole tree beforehand. Like, I don't know why this has to be hidden. One great part of games, especially, when you're upgrading yourself, is figuring out what you want and how to get there. And the way the game currently is set up, you essentially just... it's a crapshoot. Look for something in your... find a short-term goal, which is your only option, because you can only see what's, the next tier over. But there's no long-term goal. You don't know exactly where you can end up. Now, obviously you can, because, again, the internet, you can just look it all up and find out which ones you want. But I wish that they had just given it to you in-game. Like, what's the harm in letting you know that, hey, this bottom tree here gives you extra healing gourds? Whatever, minor gripe, but what can you do? So here's our next mini-boss. I'm trying to be really stealthy. I wanna get rid of his first bar without having to fight him, because, again, we're a ninja, man. It's fun. It is fun doing this and sneaking up and getting rid of a full bar. It just feels great. How many games do you know that can essentially just cut off 50% of a boss's health, or a mini-boss's health, before it even starts, or right at the beginning? Not very many. And it rewards you for, actually being a ninja and being stealthy. So we're going to fight him. I am a bit paranoid. On my right currently, as you saw, there was one enemy that I missed that is patrolling, and I really don't want to aggro him because I am not good when it comes to multiple enemies. I start panicking. Sir, please stop kicking me. I will say I'm inconsistent when you're going to see me doing the horizontal jumps on the head. Yeah, right there. Perfect. It got rid of his posture bar, and we just stab and kill him. Easy. But I am inconsistent with it because muscle memory for, any game whatsoever, when you're trying to dodge an attack like that, you want to move your thumbstick away from them. So you always want to jump to the side or backwards or something. And generally for this game, the way it ends up working is you need to not touch your thumbstick. You literally just have to jump straight up into the air, and then you can bounce off of them. And it's hard for me to remember to do that. But yeah, we got through that second mini-boss, and now we're going to head to the first real boss. And yeah, we got enough prayer beads, so we can finally upgrade our first tier. We have 4, as I said earlier, every 4 prayer beads you can then upgrade. I think there's 10 total prayer beads you can get, or sorry, not prayer beads, but necklaces you can get. So 40 prayer beads. And now our health bar is a little bit bigger, and so is our posture meter, which is great, especially when you're heading in for your first big boss fight. So currently, something is moving around that we can't really see just yet. And the answer is, it's a giant snake. Very scary, I know. We need to be super stealthy, and by super stealthy I mean run for our lives. He's here somewhere. Where are you, snake? There he is. See, there he is. Okay, we're just going to sneak through this grass, and okay, nope, we're not going to sneak through the grass. That was a mistake. I'm sorry. Leave me alone, please. I may or may not be feeling very trapped right now. Snake, please. Thank you. So that's a super scary snake. We're just going to sidle along this cliff face here and hope he never sees us. Now, I mean, I'm no expert in biology or on snakes, but I thought that snakes can sense people and us using its tongue, can it not? I thought that's how it used a lot of stuff to see, its tongue. But I guess we're super sneaky and he doesn't realize that. He doesn't realize he should be using his tongue. So we just stab him in the eye, he freaks out, and we just run for our lives. Please leave me alone, snake. I don't like you, you don't like me. Please, oh god, oh god, no, please, no. Pretty sure that should have killed me right there, but luckily, iframes, I guess? I just teleported through the snake, and we're just gonna keep running. Sorry, snake. My bad. And we're not gonna see him again for a very long time. Spoilers. Good. So we made it up to the castle. The reason we had to go down through there is because they broke the bridge. because obviously they did. And here's a little ninja guy. Hello, you're ugly. I don't know, like, as far as I'm aware, these guys aren't actually, you know, monsters or anything. They're literally like rat men that just exist. They were born that way. Born as rat men, I guess. And we finally made it into... I don't know what the name of this place is. Poor guy misses his horse. Well, he can go join it in death. But yeah, so we're in the estate for Ashina. There we go, it's Ashina. Good job, me. I'm so smart. Remembering words and names, places. And now it's just naturally dropped down onto this giant battlefield for no apparent reason. Well, that was scary. So this is our first real boss. Not a mini-boss, a full-fledged boss. The only thing that really separates, you know, mini-bosses from full-fledged bosses are generally the fact that you can't, you know, stealth kill them for one of their full health bars. But more importantly, when the boss dies, it will give you a memory, which can then increase your attack power. So yeah, here's the very first boss. He's pretty scary because he's on a horse. Good old Gyobu. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. The English voice actor for this guy is amazing. The only character that I would actually recommend using English dubs for, because he went all out and it's amazing. I'll say as a first boss, he's a bit difficult for people, I'd assume. Just because the fact that he can run really far away from you and on the horse, it's not, you know, a straight up, you know, parry battle like you get with, let's say, the second boss, which is, you know, Madam Butterfly or Lady Butterfly or whatever. Can make it a bit tough, especially, again, Sekiro especially, the person-to-person fights are really tight and, you know, very finesse-driven, whereas these ones, and also the apes that we'll be seeing later and so on, they're, at least for me when I fight them, they're a lot rougher, just because you are using a lot more of the fighting arena. But overall, Gyobu's not the worst. Of course he's scary, but luckily we can just wail on his horse, and if he ever runs away from us, we can then grapple to him, you know, interrupt him, and be on our merry way. Shuriken! And I missed. Oh. Well, doesn't matter. There we go. Well, he's dead, and his horse disappears too. So we got our first memory, and now we can open the gate to continue further on into Ashina Castle. But first, obviously, we're going to activate the sculptor idol because there's no reason not to, and then we're going to go do a couple more NPC conversations. Because these ones that or the one that I'm going to do with Tengu is essential. As in, it must be done to eventually progress the plot, you know, further in. But there we go, we also got enough for our first upgrade, and then we're just going to start saving up our points for the next upgrade. But yeah, so, as opposed to, you know, the previous episodes where we were lucky to maybe kill one mini-boss, in this episode we've killed 2 mini-bosses as well as a main boss. So, things are finally progressing more smoothly for us, which is very nice. So there's the Tengu, we'll talk to him in a sec. But first we're just going to open up these doors. Again, these are the shortcuts. But unlike Dark Souls, because there are sculptor's idols all over the place, you're never going to use this. Like, the shortcuts exist, but there's no real point to them.
へえ、あんたが生き残ったのかい。鬼の行部様もやっと屍になれたかね。 けれど、何も変わりゃしないよ。戦は続き、屍は積まれ、怨嗟ばかりが満ち満ちる。あんた、考えたことがあるかい？そういう怨嗟がどこに積もっていくのかを。ないだろう。ないだろうね。だからこそ、あんたもあやつも哀れなことだよ。
So that old lady gave us some foreshadowing for later on.
ネズミがもう一匹。いや、その目。飢えた狼か。切る前に名を聞いてやる。名乗りわしに名乗る名などないか。忍びは大概そうじゃ。名乗らず死におる。じゃが、その左腕、忍び技師とは懐かしい。なるほど。石腕の狼か。気に入ったぞ。ならば、赤炉。お主をそう呼ぼう。お前は何だ？わしはアシナの天狗よ。おう赤炉。お主もネズミ狩りをせぬか。何だと？このアシナにはネズミが入り込んでおる。うじゃうじゃと我が物顔でな。ネズミもいろいろじゃが、それを片端から切り捨てるのよ。どうやらお主にも人斬りの才がある。その才を磨くのに役立とう。どうじゃ赤炉。ネズミ狩りをせぬか。承知した。よし、赤炉よ。ならばこれをくれてやる。これはネズミの顔、それと巣穴じゃ。切ってまいれ。さすればお主の戦に役立つものをやろう。
So the Tengu Vashina has sent us on a mission to kill rats, which are those little rat men the one I killed earlier, but we have to kill a couple more. And he'll give us in return a book, which will give us another tree for unlocking skills with, which is pretty useful. But for now, we're going to climb this, and we are going to just get a prayer bead that's hidden up here. As I said earlier with that old lady, that is foreshadowing for, well, a potential ending, but also another character in this game that I'll talk about when we get there. But yeah, it's a conversation that most people just, listen to and ignore, not make the connection with until much, much later. But first, our next order of business is just we're going to stop over here and talk to this merchant that's up the stairs. Because why wouldn't we? I'm just checking how much money I have. Yeah, all the merchants are pretty much the same, say the same stuff. Now, what's important is that he has a gourd seed, which we cannot afford, but he also has fireworks, which is used for an upgrade, a prosthetic upgrade, which is useful, but... Yeah, the merchant always wanting offerings. Good for him. He wants my money. Well, we'll be back there for the gourd seed once we have 2,000 sen, which is a pretty high number, I must say. But first, we must go hunt some rats. Now, this is actually essential, as I said earlier, because we need to make the Tengu move. And if you don't complete his quest line, he will not move. And then, you have to get confused and be like, why can't I progress the game? And the answer is because you need to kill or do the Tengu's mission. So we're just going to quickly do that. Once I can climb up there, at least. There we go. And here's another reason why the axe is super useful. Not for this guy in particular, because he's really easy, but for those two over there that we're going to eavesdrop on.
たとえ源一郎が俺どアシナの国
長くはなさそうだの。してもう一つの任は城の蛇谷の側が黒笠で騒がしいようじゃ。ならば次はそちらよ。だが最新にな、黒笠の無事な生中にはやれぬぞ。
Yeah, these two annoying ones, they use their hats as shields, which becomes really annoying to deal with. But luckily, because we have the axe, we can just, shatter their hats in two and kill them, and we're done. Perfect. Now, we're not going to turn it in right away because we're going to go back and finish the Hirata state for next episode. So I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for coming.